So in this particular lecture, let's go ahead and let's style up this particular password change form which we have up over here. And in order to style up this particular form, we will be using the same code which we have actually used in this particular edit.html. So let's go ahead, let's close all the files other than this particular file, and let's also open up the password change form which we have. So the password change form is nothing but this form right here. So here, as you can see, this is what the form currently looks like, and we simply have a form rendered as P. So in order to change that real quick, the very first thing that needs to be done is that you need to access the label as well as the input field as we have done up over here. So that means I now simply have to copy one of these divs here. So without having to write any new kind of code, you simply go ahead and you copy this content or this particular, you could say, format which you have, and you could even copy the entire thing from right from the h2 tag, copy the whole entire thing until the div which you have here. Go back here, and right now take this particular thing, and then before pasting it right up over here, what you could do is that you could have form.asp at the bottom. So you could take this, put it up over here right before the end block, and I'll tell you the reason why you need to do this. We need to do this because we currently don't know the names of the fields for that particular form, and we are going to take the name of the form fields from this form right here. In the meanwhile, let's copy this, paste it up over here. So I'll get rid of the form from here and paste it up over here like that. Now if I go back here, hit refresh, as you can see, this is what the older form looks like. Now I could simply go ahead, inspect this, get the name of this particular field. So the name of this field is old_password. So as you can see, this is what the name of that particular field is. So I could go ahead, go inside my first label, change it from first name to old password, and change this thing to, let's first change this thing from user form to form, and here let's type in old_password. If I do that, now the first field which we are going to have up over here is going to be for the old password. Now in a similar fashion, let's also get the names of the other fields over here. So let's inspect this. So this thing is actually called as new password 1. So remember that that's the name of that particular field. So let's go ahead and add that. So this is going to be label for new password, and then the name of this particular field is new password 1. So let's say form.newPassword1. So that's going to be new_password1. Okay, so now let's analyze the next field. So the next field is the password confirmation field, and I guess this is going to be called as new password 2. Yeah, so that's correct. So here I would say confirm new password as the name of this particular label, and let's change this thing to form.newPassword2. Once this thing is done, let's go ahead, hit refresh. So we have old password, new password, confirm password, and let's get rid of the extra fields which we have, like the photo. So I'll simply go ahead, delete this field from here, and we are now good to go. So if I hit refresh, this is what the form looks like. And now we could finally get rid of this form, but you'll also be able to see that there are certain warnings which will be showing up over here if you type in incorrect passwords here. And we are going to learn how to get those warnings later, but for now, let's actually get rid of this form. So let's get rid of this form from here by deleting form.asp. We need to have the end block here. And now, as you can see, the password form is pretty much ready. Let's change the heading to change password. Let's change the emoji as well. Let's say we use something like a key, and there you have it. We now have the password change form fully functional and complete. But now the problem is that, let's say if you type in an incorrect old password and an incorrect new password and confirm password here, and if you try to submit, this will actually simply load up the page and you would have no idea what actually happened. That means this form should be capable to display the errors which are actually present in that particular form. And in order to display those particular errors, what you could do is that the form object which you have passed here, this actually contains something which is called as errors, and you could actually loop through these errors which you have and display those particular errors right at the top of the form. So here, right where our form is, let's go at the top of this form, which is right after this div, and here I'll create a container for errors. So I would create a div. Let's name this thing as error container, or let's rather name this class as error container, and I'm actually going to make the text of this thing to red. So text red with a shade of 500, and I would add a padding of 10 on the x-axis. So once we have this div, in order to actually get the errors which actually arise, here first you need to check if the form has any errors. So we say if the form has any errors, so if form.errors, in that particular case do something, and then end the if statement here. So I would add end if here. So that means if the form has the errors, we have to loop through all the errors in the form and then display those errors. So in order to loop through the errors which we have in the form, you need to say for field in form, which means we loop through all the fields which we have up over here, and we get each and every error from that particular field. So we also need to add a end for here, and then let's actually loop through each error for each field. So here I would say field dot errors. Okay, once this thing is done, let's see if that's functional. So right now if I hit refresh, as you can see, it says your old password was incorrectly entered, please enter it again, and also it says that your passwords field do not match. And now let's say if the old password is incorrect, but let's say the new password and old password are same. So now in this case, if I hit submit, as you can see, it will actually show all the errors which we have in our password. So this time, as you can see, it says that the password is too common because I've simply typed in numbers from 1 to 5. It also says that the password is entirely numeric. It also says the password is too short. But this time we do not get the password do not match error. That means now the errors and warnings are displayed along with this form as well. That means this particular password change form is now fully functional. But still there's one issue which we have in the previous form as well, where we have styled it up, and that issue is this blue colored border which we have for the inner input field which we have, and this particular input field is customized by us. So in the next lecture, let's go ahead and let's learn how we could get rid of this particular blue border on this input field from the text field which we have. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.